I'm just gonna say I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. Like
We shot this down there, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we are home of the Spooky Island, right?
That's exactly correct. That's exactly. It was a little island right off the coast that we actually shot on. I don't remember the name of it, but and then the rest was all on the studio over there in what's it called? The Gold Coast.
The Gold Coast, yes, the good old GC.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about that, there is some connection not only with you and Sarah when it comes to what you did last summer, but this time around it's also filmed in New South Wales, I believe. So you're back in Australia. Do you have any fond memories of shooting down under for both movies?
I listen, I love Australia. Sydney's one of my favorite cities in the world. I this trip, the people were so amazing to me. I would walk to this Turkish coffee place every single morning and would drink the best coffee I ever had in my life. And it was called like Jesla something. I wish I could give them a free promotion, but it was like from day one, I felt so at home there and so comfortable, and it made the work so easy. And the crews have so much experience out there now. Nobody's playing catch up. Like everyone's on the same page and moving at the same speed. So it was a wonderful experience. The first time we went out there, it was still so new, the filming industry out there, as far as like Americans coming to your country to film. Scooby-Doo wasn't the first, but it was still early on. And to see how much it's that industry has grown there to where there's just full-blown studios all over the place and people that have, 30 films under their belt instead of three. It was just like, oh, okay, so we're making a big time movie and everybody's, like I said, is moving at the same speed. It was really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there any like major changes that you noticed from when you filmed back? I believe Scooby-Doo was it early 2000s or
You'd be
early
better at that than I would. I don't remember. I don't remember. It was 20 plus years ago, so however long ago that was. I mean, the only difference is, in me are arthritis and gray hair. But Sydney and the Gold Coast are so different. Like I can't even compare the two cities. One is a very small town, almost like resort vibe, and the other is a metropolitan city. And they both have wonderful things. I remember the Gold Coast had Jupiters, and I could go play blackjack, and I could go surf and wakeboard, which was awesome. And Sydney had the beaches that I loved and the food that I loved. And all that, but yeah, the only thing that really changed in between Scooby and I know what you did is me. I got older.
Yeah, 100%. Well, actually, we do have a little bit of a rivalry between us and the Gold Coast.
Do you
I don't know if
really? Oh, can I break the tie then? Can I
yeah,
tell you
go
guys
for
which
it.
one's better? Okay. So the Gold Coast has a lot to offer. However, if I was retired, Gold Coast would be where it's at. But I'm not, and I'm not even close. Sydney's one of the best cities in the world. Like I would put Sydney up against Tokyo, up against like New York City, up against London. Like that's how much I love Sydney. It's one of the best cities in the world. So Gold Coast, I'm sorry. I love you guys. When I'm in my 60s, call me. But until then, it's Sydney, Australia.
Well, I'm glad we have that clarification, and let's hope everyone's nice in the comments. So
It's just my humble opinion. If you disagree, I respect it. I respect it.
gorgeous. Well, speaking again of shooting in Australia, did you have any major culture shock moments?
Oh my God. That damn huntsman spider. Oh my God. You guys are just, it's such a normal thing for you, and it's not a normal spider. I walked into a bathroom in the house that I was renting out there, and there it was on the wall, and it was as big as two of my hands. It literally drove to my house, knocked on the door, and somehow got in because it can't fit through a hole or a crack. There weren't any that big in the house. It was a lovely house. Whoever I rented from, I took great care of your home. It was beautiful, but I don't know how this spider got in. I didn't know it wasn't deadly. Everyone was like, "Nah, it's no big deal." I was like, "Well, I had to kill it because it looked like a monster and it had to go." So I'm sorry. I killed a beautiful creature that you guys think is beautiful. I thought I was going to die and grabbed the welcome thing that they gave me in the house, like, welcome to New South Wales, Australia. Here's things you can do. And there was one thing I could do that it didn't list, which was kill that spider. And so I killed him, almost had a heart attack. And that was the biggest culture shock. Other than that, America and Australia are very, very similar. You guys just, we dance different and we eat different. That's, that's,
Well,
that's it. And that's every
Well, there
culture.
you
We just
go.
dance different and we like different foods.
I'm just gonna say I think Australia dance is better, but
It maybe you do. You know what I mean? Maybe you do.
100%. Well, going into the film, I felt like this movie was kind of a meta joke for reboots. Do you have any personal opinion about Hollywood pushing out all of these different revamped versions of iconic movies?
You know, you have to remember corporations own all the studios now. There's a couple like studios that do their own thing and everybody likes those movies like A24 and things like that. But corporations do things based off numbers and it's much less vision reliant, right? Like you can't really go in and sell a pitch that often anymore. It happens, but it's rare. You have to go in with a script or a script with actors A, B, and C attached to said script. Like they have to kind of see everything before they'll believe in it. And it's much easier to believe in something that you've seen work before than an original idea. I don't like writers getting blamed and criticized by the masses the way I see them get criticized. I promise y'all, ladies and gentlemen, they have tons of original scripts that they've written. They're simply not getting bought, and in most cases, they're not even getting read because they do what the studios demand or you don't work. So it's a tricky situation. Every once in a while, you know, you see something original and cool and fun, and then all of a sudden all the studios copy that and it's not original, cool, and fun anymore. So it has to evolve and somebody else has to come in with a new idea. But that doesn't happen as often as it used to. I was very fortunate. My generation was the last generation to have studios that weren't owned all by corporations. And so the movies they took more chances on a script that didn't have a built-in intellectual property. Nowadays, it's much more difficult and you can complain about it, or you can understand that that's the nature of the business now, and it's still your responsibility to create art at a high level. And so I think most people are in tune with that. And there's, a few that are like, it needs to go back to the old ways. Maybe it will. The business will always evolve. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody will open I've heard of actors wanting to open up private studios the way Charlie Chaplin did back in the day. So that can happen. It just hasn't happened yet.
Absolutely. And I've got one last question for you. With everyone jumping in for what I know what you did last summer, do you have any fond memories coming back on set for it?
As far as like from back in the day or on the new movie?
Yeah. Like
From
any
back in the day,
juicy
you know, I
memories you've
was
got there?
so I was so nervous for the first like 4 weeks of that movie that I was going to get fired because I had the least amount of experience of all the other actors, and I was so nervous and insecure I was like, this is the day they're gonna let me go. And then right when we got to 4 weeks, this thought like popped in my head and was like, look, they'd have to reshoot a whole month's worth of footage now. I think you're going to be okay. And so my work on the second half of the production schedule was far superior to the work in the first half because I was able to kind of let go of some of the anxiety and have a little bit more confidence in the performance.